N8N just got a huge update that you will find quite useful for your agentic workflows. Today we will be covering the new model selector feature, how to use it, how to take advantage of it, and potential use cases that you can have for it. So before we begin, the first thing that we need is to have an AI agent node here. You just click the plus sign and you type AI agent. So after you do that, let me remove everything. You want to go ahead and select model selector, okay? So you can specify how many potential agents you are going to connect to the model selector. You can start from 2 up to 10. So what you want to do is then connect the chat model section of the AI agent to the model selector. Now, before we move forward, if you don't know what N8N is, it's an AI automation tool. If you don't have an account on N8N, you can create one using the link down below in the description. You get 14 days completely free for usage, and that's an easy way to get started. So why would you want to use model selector? So what model selector does is it allows you to connect multiple models to it. And when a rule gets hit, which you will specify, then the model selector will select the appropriate model for the specific use case. So let's talk a little bit about why would you want to use this. So let's say that you have, a specific agent or a specific workflow that sometimes requires coding and sometimes requires planning. You can use model selector to select two different models. For example, for a model number 1, you can select Anthropic. Anthropic, as we all know, has the best agentic coding models out there. So for coding, you might want to set up your Anthropic chat model. And for model number 2, you may want a reasoning model, a math model. So for that, you could use OpenAI's chat. So what this new node allows you to do is to select and add rules whether one or the other model is going to be used. So before we go into a little bit more details, it's not super hard, just a few more details. I just want to let you know that I have an AI course that is going to allow you to become more productive than ever by leveraging AI tools. This is one of the most amazing offers in the market, as you only have to buy once and you get over 25 hours of material, as long as all of the new updates that I will be putting into the course. So if you want to become more productive than ever, thus make more money than ever, this is the course for you. And of course, this is the easiest way to donate to the channel, as you support my work by buying the course. So let's move forwards. And after you set up these two nodes, of course, you have, to connect credentials. So create credentials and do whatever you have to do. You want to select the model selector, double click it, and then you want to add rules. So the rules will allow you to trigger one or the other model. So let's say that we add two rules, one for model 1 and the other for model 2. So you will take a value from the input and you can do loads of sort of things with it. For example, you can do string matching. So if in your prompt you have coding, or you are a code assistant or whatever like that, you can add the contains. So when this value contains the specified value, for example, coding, you are going to be using the model number 1, which in this case is Anthropic's chat model. And for example, in model 2, you may have something like contains and math. So this is how you can trigger different models. Of course, you can add even more rules or even more complicated conditions. For example, math, and maybe the input does not contain coding. So maybe you want to do this kind of triggers. Of course, this trigger doesn't make any sense because if your input, the value 1, has coding, it will just route to the first, node, to the model number 1. But you get so many options. You could have regex, you can have you could add something at the start of a prompt or at the end of the prompt. So you could just as easily, route to the correct model according to what you want to do. You could have numbers, you could have dates. So for example, after a specific date, you know that an AI model is going to, stop being adopted by the API. You can add the date, and after the date gets passed, it's going to route to a new model. You could also have Boolean, true or false. You could have arrays. with specific lengths. For example, you may have a very big array of objects. That would mean, for example, that you have to do loads of requests, so you may want to use a cheaper model for that. Or even objects, which I have never used. I have no idea what this is. So this is a very new and powerful mechanic, which could, allow you to have a single AI agent that can do different sort of requests by calling different AI models. And at the end of the day, this could simplify your workflows a lot by just adding this model selector. And one of the most important things about it is that it allows you to improve the performance because you route and you use only the most correct model. And of course, the opportunity to have a fallback through the dates is also super crucial and important, at least in my opinion, okay? So make sure to try this, no doubt. If you have workflows that look like that and maybe conditionally the input changes and you want to enhance the ability of your AI agent or workflow, then this is a new super powerful node that will unlock that power. So I really want to thank you for being part of another video. I wish you the very best and I will see you in the next one. Bye.